Hello, this is going to be a short video to walk you through my final project for Ryerson's CCPS530 Web Apps Development class. So let's go ahead and jump right into the app. This is the Sacred Nico, and it is a Node.js app running a combination of Bootstrap jQuery libraries along with foundational HTML, CSS, and JavaScript deployed to Heroku. So a couple things on this page here that you can see going on. We have an SVG image that is being animated to create this waving effect. So if we kind of follow this prompt here, touch the cat's belly for luck, we can go ahead and see that as we mouse over the cat image and click, we get a little pop-up saying your luck is granted. So this is done using a jQuery selector to actually activate a Bootstrap function. So we'll go ahead and close that. But of course, I want a bit more luck, so I want to go ahead and click through to make my luck eternal. And here we're served up a form. So this form, again, an EJS file that's been pushed up and running on Heroku. Data capture is done and then sent via the Node.js routes into the Marketing Cloud, which is an enterprise level database software. So I'll go ahead and submit this as Kate Dwyer, Caitlin Dwyer at Ryerson.ca with my phone number, 8, and then my postal code, 6K3M8. So I'll go ahead and submit now, and we're immediately redirected to a thank you page with that same sort of animation. However, we can also see that on my iPhone, I have just received a text message now that says you can have blessings. So that's the Sacred Nico just kind of letting us know that we have our 10,000 years of good luck. So how was I able to accomplish all this? Let's take a look behind the scenes. So first off, the core, the backbone of this application really is Node.js. So we can see our main index file here, where at the beginning we kind of set our requirements. We do our authentication to Marketing Cloud, which is going to be our API integration. And then we start running or setting up our routes. So we can see here we have the form page, we have the thank you page, and then we have our specific function calls. So for example, we have a post to post that form data into our database, the Marketing Cloud, with our key being our subscriber key and adding in some key value pairs around the information captured in the form. And then we continue down to also send out an SMS message. With that message, you can have blessings. And then we set up our callbacks with our error handling, and this is kind of allowing us to actually build that functionality or that flow that we saw. A couple other interesting things in the code to call out. Within our JS file, again, I mentioned this idea of using jQuery. So for example, a couple selectors to grab things like the unique identifier and pass that back into the Marketing Cloud. Leveraging CSS to again grab a pairing of vectors to create that cat's arm and then animate it for an infinite amount of time. That's how we get the waving effect, as well as using things like, CSS pop-in. So that was that message box that we saw, as well as at the bottom here, just using jQuery to kind of select that. And then finally here, just taking a look at, this is the CSV image here, the form with all of the data capture and input validation, and finally the thank you page. So in terms of actually getting all of this up and running, I used Heroku, just their free sort of deployment, and deploying via the command line through Git to commit my changes and then push up to my protected app. So very cool here, Heroku scales with demand. So when I first hit the web page, it may take a couple minutes to spin up. And then, moving forward, it's easy for me to just access and interact with the web app. And then from a database perspective, this is within Marketing Cloud. So this is providing us our create, read, update, and delete database functionality here. So we can see we actually have a relational table that I've called blessed cats, and currently it's empty. So I'm just going to go ahead and refresh this. And navigate into my folder for CCP, and we can see, oh, okay, we have a new record count here. So let's go ahead and check out blessed cats. We can see these different sorts of key value pairs. Really interesting to kind of play around with this idea of nullable and non-nullable fields. And going in, we should see my record. Awesome. We have the unique identifier, the information I submitted, as well as the date local to Indianapolis, where this database is hosted. And then in terms of the API integration, again, I was leveraging Node.js to make a call out to the Marketing Cloud endpoints. This allowed us to do things like the SMS message, as well as read directly into the database since it was third party as opposed to proprietary on Postgres, for example. And then finally, if you're interested in sort of reading more or digging into the code, I have deposited this on GitHub under Sacred Nico. So you can click in here, get access to all of the files, as well as the README along with the Node.js Getting Started tutorial. And that's all. Thanks so much.